My fiancée had a backup boyfriend, and I found out at our engagement party, so I gave her the most legendary ending she never saw coming.
My name is Jake Dalton, 32 years old, and until recently, I thought I was engaged to the woman I'd spend the rest of my life with. Sarah and I had been together for 4 years, living in my apartment for almost 2. We weren't perfect, but we were solid. Or so I believed. The engagement ring had always been our little joke, a handmade silver band with a fake gem we bought at a craft market for $100. Sarah had loved it, calling it simple, honest, and us. I took pride in that. I thought it meant she wasn't materialistic. Later, I'd realize I was just gullible. Our engagement celebration was a small gathering at my place. From the moment guests arrived, I sensed something was off. Sarah kept drifting away any time I approached, clinging to her friends Nicole and Ashley or staying close to Tyler, her old college buddy. The one she insisted was like a brother. The tension snapped during the gift opening. Nicole, drunk and giggling, stood for a toast. At first, it was sweet. She praised Sarah's intelligence, her charm. And then she said the words that sliced straight through the room. And of course her backup plan, right, Tyler? 15 people inhaled at the same time. Tyler smirked. Sarah blushed, and everything inside me stopped. Nicole, too drunk to realize the bomb she detonated, laughed louder and added, "You know, in case Jake screws up, Tyler's always waiting on the bench." Just like that, the past months lined up in perfect clarity, the secretive texts, the late nights with the girls, the location sharing mysteriously turned off, the emotional distance. The signs I ignored suddenly screamed their meaning. Everyone stared at me, waiting for my reaction, so I laughed. A calm, controlled laugh that made Sarah's smile die instantly. "You're right," I said. "Backup plans are smart." I walked to my jacket, took out the ring box, and headed straight to Tyler. Without breaking eye contact, I dropped it into his open palm. "She's all yours, man. Tag in." Silence, then chaos. Sarah's face collapsed. Nicole's jaw dropped. Tyler froze, wide-eyed. I ended the party then and there, ordering everyone out. Sarah screamed that it was just a joke, but I'd seen enough lies to recognize one instantly. The moment the door shut behind her, I locked it, put on headphones, and let the war begin. The pounding on my door began 20 minutes later. Sarah, Tyler, and Nicole shouting like maniacs. I ignored them and called the non-emergency police line, loudly on speaker. The second they heard the dispatcher, they vanished. And then the texts came. Dozens of them. Manipulation, gaslighting, rage, tears, accusations. I blocked all 4, Sarah, Tyler, Nicole, and even Sarah's mother, who somehow painted me as the villain. The next morning I hired a locksmith. New deadbolts, new keys, no trace of Sarah's access left. Then I boxed up every single belonging of hers. 14 boxes stacked neatly by the door. The memories hurt, the gifts, the notes, the bits of a life I thought we were building, but the betrayal hurt more. When Sarah showed up, furious and entitled, she shoved the door and accused me of evicting her illegally. She screamed that the apartment was her home. I reminded her calmly. My name is on the lease. You were a guest? She lost her mind. Especially about the $700 ergonomic chair I bought for her work setup. The one she promised to pay me back for and never did. She demanded it. I refused. "Pay me the $700 you owe first." She threatened to call the police. I told her to go ahead. 2 days later, she did. When officers arrived, Sarah and Tyler waited outside like a dramatic duo in a bad sitcom. The cops asked about the domestic dispute. I calmly presented my lease with only my name on it, the credit card receipt for the chair. The boxes of her things ready for pickup. Sarah shrieked about her rights. The officers sighed. They'd clearly seen this show before and supervised while she and Tyler hauled out the boxes. Tyler shot me glare after glare. I offered him the same deal. Pay the $700 and the chair is yours. One officer actually laughed. When the door finally shut behind them, I thought it was over. I was wrong. The next attack was worse. Sarah, or her friends, began calling my landlord anonymously. Reports of late-night screaming, complaints of chemical smells, claims of suspicious men entering my apartment, accusations of illegal activity. My landlord, who liked me, warned me. One more call in corporate will push for eviction. This wasn't heartbreak anymore. This was sabotage. So I hired a lawyer. She drafted a perfect cease and desist letter addressed to Sarah Tyler Nicole Alvea, certified male. And instantly, like flipping a switch, the harassment stopped. Even corporate backed off once they saw I'd lawyered up and created a paper trail. A week later, I got a text from Tyler. Bro, I'm out. Sarah's crazy. He confessed she'd tried to get him to file false reports against me. He refused, kicked her out, and apologized. Cowards always fold when faced with consequences. Peace finally returned. For a while,